sister. Yay!
Tune in.
How are you, babe?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I love this beat.
This is my friend Caro, who passed away at the beginning of the year. Bless her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So did she produce? Did she produce it?
Yeah, she produced it.
Wow, that's really
It's
good.
a whole album called. Her DJ name's Sexy Rubber Soul, and the album's called Feast of Salt.
Beautiful.
So it's deep.
Yeah.
Really deep as well. Really. The lyrics are very us, very now as well. Yeah, bless her.
What did she say? Respect the
might.
The
might.
Very nice. Very nice. Beautiful.
So,
welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome to 5D. 5D is where we want to be.
Where we want to be, baby. Yeah.
So what's been going on, Debs? What are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to speak about shifting dimensions, right?
Yeah.
And kind of what that entails and how it's feeling for us right now. And we've kind of had a little. What spurred us to talk about this is our
let's go to
our challenging time, right? That we had. Was it a few days ago? Last week? I don't know. Time escapes me. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Time is like, what is time? Yeah, right. Yeah. That's kind of one thing. Shifting these dimensions. I mean, I've kind of always gone with the flow for as long as I can remember, which annoys people. But I'm kind of happy going with the flow, and it always works out. But yeah, time's kind of oblivious to me at the moment. How about yourself?
But I think more now than before.
Yeah.
So the reason why we're talking about this is because we are feeling that there is some sort of a, sorry, my speakers don't work very well, so I'm wearing these headphones, but I'm going to take this one out because I feel like I'm in a box. So basically the reason why we're talking about this is because there is a division right now between people who are living in a more dense frequency and those who are kind of moving towards a more of a light frequency. So I mean, the whole flow thing, I would resonate with that because I annoy my brother and I annoy my dad. I always annoy everybody. But before, with my business, I was always super, super organized. You know, I was always very organized, very masculine energy, okay, this time's going to be this time, this time. But since I don't have the business, I don't actually use my Google Calendar anymore. And I'm super, super spacey. That's why I was super, super organized.
Yeah.
But now I'm actually allowing myself to go into that feminine energy. I actually want to be in that divine feminine space where I'm just flowing and I'm not worrying about the time. And I'm kind of like, you know, oh, I forgot this and I forgot that. And, you know, when my brother or my family member or my friend, if they're very kind of still in that organizing life and like those things are important to them, the materialistic things, it's kind of like they don't understand and they think I'm just being flaky, which I probably am. And, you know, but for me, in my life and the way I'm living, I'm not. I'm actually being the way we came to this planet to be, which is to flow so that we can surrender, so that then whatever we manifest and whatever we put into our mind will actually happen for us. And understanding all of that. So in some sense, it's kind of, that's where there is a division. But we had a few other examples, didn't we? So that was just, you know, my brother, but it came by because on Saturday night I went out and I went and I spoke to you and I went for dinner at a friend's house and my car's broken. So I hadn't got the train for a long time. And in Spain, where I'm based, they're still very, very, very militant. You know, they're very, very strict on the train and in the hospitals. I'm not sure about England. In the hospitals, probably still yes. But anyway, so I walked into the train and I didn't have a mask on. I didn't have a mask in my bag. So I walked in the train and I had these two security guys and they were like, ¿Tiene la mascarilla? Like, do you have a mask? And I was like, no tengo ninguna mascarilla. And they were like, oh, okay, stop the train, stop the train.
You're joking. Stop the train. You're stopping traffic, girl. All for the wrong reasons.
No, seriously.
All the right reasons.
They were stopping the train and they wanted me to get off the train because I didn't have a mask on.
Right.
And I was looking lovely, by the way. And I was standing there going, what? Like, is this still happening? Like, I seriously couldn't.
What dimension am I in?
No. It was such shock to me because I hadn't I've been avoiding trains and avoiding places like that so that I didn't have to face that. And it was just a shock to the system. And that's when we were speaking about what a difference, like how you can feel when you're going in to the third dimension, which is very, still with the narrative of wearing the mask and being careful with the sea and, and that kind of fear around amongst the people, and I'm sure a lot of people are wearing masks that they already see through it. But in Spain, the law is very strict and they're very militant here, and people are very, they do follow authority, unfortunately. So, so in the end, a lady offered me a mask because I wasn't moving from inside the train.
For you.
I was like, I don't understand, like, can you explain? Like, I thought this was over already, anyway. And then this lady was like, I have a mask. And I was like, okay. So I just sat down. And I thought there's no point. So I just, it's best to just, play the game and just go. I just wanted to get to my destination, which is literally a minute, 2 minutes away, but it was a shock to the system. And that's when we spoke about this. And I was like, okay, we need to do an episode on shifting dimensions. You mentioned another example as well that you were feeling.
Yeah, I was due to, I was due to go out.
You were going to go out with some friends.
Yeah, I was due to go out with a friend, right? And meet a couple of other friends. And she's told me that someone had COVID. And so she'd done a test, and then that test was negative. So she did another test.
Oh my God.
And I was like, do you know what I mean? Oh, look, your cat and dog have both come.
Yeah, this is Bino. This is Bino. He's just learning to go on the terrace. And then
bless.
Blanca is here because she gets jealous. So she's also near us. Look, we've got the whole family. Blanca.
Hey, Blanca.
Blanky Boo. Yeah.
Like bothered not.
Bino's gone off, but they chase each other all the time. So if you hear noises, I'm very sorry about that. We're very busy. But continue. You were saying.
Yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah. Then she said that she was doing another test, which I was kind of like, oh, really? I really don't. I just can't do this. I just can't do it. I can't engage with this nonsense that you're still playing into. I just can't do it. At this stage of the game, if you don't know that there hasn't been a pandemic, because we haven't been burning bodies still to this day, right? Not saying that there aren't people dying. There were people dying before the C word entered our radar, right? So people always die. That's part of living. It's part of life. It's called life. Everyone can expect to die in life, right? And some people have been taken because of what they've taken, right? And that's what a lot of the deaths are caused by. So, and then more and more of that is coming into coming into the mainstream. But there's so much information on other platforms that, okay, even if you're not engaged in those platforms, you will know someone that is engaged with those platforms, or you will know someone that was on your page having taken that and then felt sick or ill, or has now got myocarditis, which is the thing that's the heart. I think it's clotting of the heart, or whatever the term is. So I just thought, I can't do it. I just can't. I just refuse to put my soul in that energy and have to have this conversation about something that is just bullshit.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is the issue that we have when this is why there is some sort of a division between people who are living with those thoughts and others that are kind of seeing ahead from that and not having that limited kind of information, and you can see it so clearly now. It's like they're either you're living with that density, with the narrative that's happening still today in the news and the same kind of stories, and you're listening to everything that has been told to you, and you're still doing what you're being told. Like you haven't grown at all in the last 2 years. If some people are in that state still, and that is 3D, that is in that density, that is the third dimension. And
so
then
rigid.
there's also a lot of people that are awakening, because there's a lot of light coming into the planet at the moment. So there's a lot of people that are starting to, shift that, they are shifting into the fourth dimension. I do believe that,
Oh yeah, totally. I mean,
a lot of people are actually being productive with their time. A lot of people are being grateful for what's happened, because now they're doing something else and they're not doing the career they wanted to do, like, a lot of people are moving forward, but it's so clear now who is in the density and who isn't, and you can, totally. and it just feels like, you don't resonate with that person anymore. I mean, what we're trying to explain here is that you don't resonate with that situation anymore, or you don't resonate with that. I mean, when I walked into the train, I just felt like I was going into another world.
Yeah.
Because my world is so kind of like, I make it like that because I create my own reality. I make sure that I'm living in a 5D way of living. I make sure that I'm in nature, and nobody tells me to cover my mouth or to not breathe. I won't allow that. Yeah. So I prefer to avoid those spaces than to go into some legal palaver with policemen and stuff.
Yeah.
I prefer to just avoid those spaces and not have to, but actually I had to go to the hospital the other day as well. And they also made me put a mask on, and that also it reminded me of it, but it's fine because I kind of knew that I needed to wear the mask. So that was fine. It was the feeling of going into the train at that point. I was just like so happy. And then suddenly it's like, whoa, I'm not allowed on the train.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
That's insane. It's insane.
Ridiculous. Yeah, the hospitals over here aren't that bad, because remember when I went for my blood tests and that, I obviously had to go into a hospital, and well, I wasn't going to be wearing a mask, that was for sure. There was a lot of people in the hospital wearing a mask, but I didn't. So it's a strange kind of rigid, because I'm used to free flowing, right? Like I'm really quite lucky. Like, I've got my clients, so that's the only time I need to stick to, but it's not a chore, because, I get to run energy, so it's cool. Do you know what I mean? And I get to hear my clients that are improving, which is cool also. Sort of bringing joy and being of service to someone in their life that makes it a better space for them is pretty cool. So that's something I don't want to miss. So I think that's the only time that I ever do time. Or, if we're doing something like this, if I'm doing something like this, then, but we kind of like, even then we flow, right? It's like, oh, babe, I'm going to be 10 minutes. Oh, I'm going to be half an hour. Oh, can we do it tomorrow? What, whatever is going on. Yeah. It's kind of never really a problem for us to get these chats together. We probably could do them a bit more regular, but there's so much going on in each of our lives that, it just kind of, we just go with the flow of it. And I think that's why it works.
Yeah. But I think also like, when we look at this now, like yourself and myself, we've done a lot of work because perhaps it happened to us before where we needed to shift dimensions before in our lives. It's like life made us shift dimensions. Everybody has their own time to do this. Nobody's better than anyone else. I always say this in all of our videos. Totally. Like, it's got nothing to do with I'm better than you because I'm in this dimension, you're in that dimension. No, we're all together. We are all together, we're community, we are one, and we're here to help each other, right? But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that I think that also us light workers, people that work with light and do energy healing and stuff like that, we've been doing this for a long time. And perhaps the shift into these, we're coming to the fifth dimension because we've done a lot of the work, and we've got rid of the shadows, and we've got rid of the density, and we've realized the density that exists on this planet, because we were perhaps awake to the cruelty that's in this planet. We were awake to the lies, and therefore perhaps we are a little bit further ahead, where we're vibrating. And that's where there's, and how do you know that you're shifting into another dimension? How do you know that you are, that you're shifting into another dimension? So perhaps it might be that you no longer resonate hanging out with the friends that you were hanging out with before. Yeah, perhaps it might be that you feel that you don't no longer kind of get along with them, or you feel that there's something's, you get bored, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. No, obviously I wouldn't express it like that. Because I love my friends dearly, and whatever they feel that they need to do in their life is their business. But what was I feeling in that moment?
No, but when I say that, I'm generalizing.
You mean, I know you're generalizing.
I'm not asking you personally.
No, yeah. Obviously, it's making me think about what was it for me that kind of made me think I just can't do this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What emotion? What emotion?
Yeah. What emotion was it? Just that my soul just didn't need to be there. It wasn't anything personal to the person, my friend.
No.
At all. It was kind of a little bit, because I know that she has insights to things. It was a bit kind of deflating that she was in this fear zone still, right? And also, after taking 2 of those, why are you still having to do 2 tests? Like, I really I can't comprehend the way of thinking. So it's just better for me to just leave it, if that makes sense, rather than follow it up in a discussion, which is what I would normally do. It's kind of, I feel like I'm observing a lot. I'm observing a lot of what others are doing. And it's not like I don't feel part of it. Okay, I'm very detached from it. So I am part of it, but I'm detached from it. So I have no attachments to someone that's in that space.
It's not like you weren't getting angry. It's not like your ego was not. No, I
wasn't getting angry.
It's more like maybe you were just a bit too lazy, or to like have to deal with it, or not wanting to have that kind of.
No, it wasn't anything.
It puts you off. Maybe it put you off a bit.
Yeah, it was just, my soul just didn't want to be in that space. I mean, I can't express it any other way.
Yeah.
My soul didn't want to be in that space, and because I think my soul realized that being in that space, I would be attaching to things which would annoy me and which would get my ego involved in the situation. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, or not. Actually, I don't know, because I didn't put myself in that space. But I'm very clear on what my soul wants and what my soul's. I mean, this is something I've been practicing for some time. Like, I'll go with what okay, so when my ego's out of the picture, certain foods that I will buy and certain foods that I will eat, it's my soul that's choosing them. Yeah, that resonates with my soul. Certain things that I want to do in the day resonates with my soul. Things that I don't want to do, I just don't do. And I guess people would say that I've always been a bit like that, but it's now more pristine and fine-tuned. That's what I'm noticing. And I do have no attachments to much.
Well, that's what happens when you move into the fifth dimension, because you no longer have the attachments. There's nobody, you know what I mean? Like, you've cut all the cords. You're on your own, in the sense of like, you are you with your pillar of light, and it's like you're okay on your own. Like, it's not that we're not always on our own, but I think we do live lonelier lives. We do. I mean, I have a number of people that I see, but I'm happy just with my animals and my daughter, and I don't really need to have social life and need to have those connections constantly, because actually I don't have the time to live a conscious life and to be doing the things that I really want to do in my life, to be at this frequency and also please everybody else and meet people and meet my family. And so you have to kind of, if you're shifting, you're wanting to shift into a higher dimension, that is what is one of the things that it entails, which is letting go of those attachments and being able to say no when you mean no, and say yes when you really want to do it. But not just doing it because they're a family member and every year you do it, and and it's because it's Christmas, we have to go. It's like, actually, this is a time where you can be sovereign and you can actually decide what you want to do, what is good for you, what is good for your soul. Allow your soul to determine where you want to go and what you want to do at all times. That's the practice of living in 5D. And it's the same with the flow. It's like, okay, so if I don't want to do my work in the morning because I just don't feel like sitting on the computer, I want to go for a walk, go for a walk. That's the whole point of this new way of living, this feminine divine energy that's coming in. It's no longer a masculine energy. It's no longer like, service to self and corporates and going to London to work and coming back. Yes, some people still do that, but that's because they're still in the density. But perhaps some people that are still doing that are feeling these things in them now. They're feeling, they're
unhappy, I would think. Right?
They're feeling this feeling of like, I don't really want to do this. So that so the calling is there. It's pulling them. And that's, once they take that step and say, actually, you know what, I'm not going to do this job anymore. Okay. So this is where now they've jumped a little bit closer to the fourth dimension. They're moving a little bit closer to listening to their heart and listening to their soul, because their soul has a mission. Every single soul of ours has a mission on this earth. And it's not, the course that we studied or the university that we went to, or what our parents told us, because it doesn't exist. It's directly and uniquely from your soul and your heart, and you're the only person on this planet that can deliver what you are here to deliver in the way that you deliver it.
Exactly.
And that is amazing. Just knowing that is why I'm so focused on trying to push to 5D. This is why the shift is important, shifting to this space where you can, work on your mission and discover it. And before you even do that, it's about, removing all the shadows and doing all the work that we need to do, and letting go, creating those boundaries and saying no to our family members if we want to. And that is, part of the shift into different dimensions, into, as you grow into higher dimensions, like a higher frequency of joy and happiness. Because if you meet your family and you don't really want to deep down, if you meet your friend and you deeply don't want to, that causes a negative emotion. And therefore that negative emotion has a different frequency to a high emotion. So that's why now I think maybe yourself as well, Debs, for me, whenever it's something that is causing me a negative emotion, I'm really wary,
Later.
Even like something that I have to watch. If I have to watch something, even that is just like, I need to make sure that I'm on a high vibration.
Totally.
But it's okay to be sad. If I want to be sad, I'll feel it. And if I'm angry, I'll be angry and I'll lash out. But I'll come back. To I'll let the emotion flow through me, and then I'll come back.
Well, anger's quite a high vibration though,
Is it?
Yeah, it's much higher than guilt or shame.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Most definitely, yeah. It's kind of halfway up the scale.
Well, anger is good because you're releasing,
Yeah.
basically.
It's the emotion that says that something is seriously wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like some of the things that we've been reading, if we go back a couple of years, some of the things that we've been reading that, you know, the Vatican's been doing and what they, you know, what's been happening in the DUMS, that's if that didn't anger you, then like it angered me. It's like, what are these people doing? Who the hell do they think they are? It's a disgusting way to treat another being.
Yeah.
So it was something to get angry about, and I think that's okay. It's not okay when you stay there or when you're constantly angry about everything. I've dropped a tomato on the floor. God, I'm fucking angry about that. That's not. No. That's kind of like you need to sort of level that shit out. Do you know what I mean? Is that the church bells ringing in the background?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I would turn the camera, but it might get messy. So the church is right in front of me. It's a very quiet little village, and it's got the mountains behind. I tell you, I'm every day I'm thankful for living here. So I'm blessed, yeah. But again, when you create it, you create your reality, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But what were you saying, Des? Because I was about to say something. I was
talking about anger.
Oh yeah. So, but what I was gonna say is that, yeah, I mean, I remember when I was awake and I used to post stuff on my Facebook, and people used to criticize me and call me names and say, oh, you conspiracy theorist, and you know, and this went on for years, you know, and I would have that anger inside me, the anger that humanity is not seeing what is happening, and the anger of feeling like I was on my own with this. Even my family members, like my mum's sister who is in England, whenever I tell her, you know, they would get upset that I was talking about it. And I was thinking, hang on a minute, where are people's hearts, right? So we did feel a lot of anger, and we would feel isolated, but we've grown from that. And a lot of people are feeling that now, because a lot of people are waking up now. Like the truthers that are out there now are suddenly realizing that it's all a scandemic, and you know, they're realizing, because all the doctors, everything that's coming out, I mean, it's
yeah.
If you're still asleep, it's like, come on, wake up. You know, the information is there. What are you doing? Anyway, let's not go.
They need to eat one of my courgettes, I tell you, right? So like I'm growing this veg like on the biodynamic method.
Yeah.
My God. Well, I done myself some courgettes for breakfast the other day. It's like, wow. You'd have asked me, you know, like, what are you on? I'll be like, a courgette. I've got courgettes. I've got runner beans. Yeah. I've got spinach. It was like, really high vibrational.
I was going to say, I've actually written down here to talk about your garden, because that's actually part of shifting dimensions.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Tell people, what are you doing in your yard, in your community yard?
Well, what am I doing? Growing stuff, watering a lot. I'm up at like 5-6 in the morning now. My timing's really shifted. So I'm waking up without an alarm clock, which is really great. So I'm waking up when my body needs to wake up, which is fantastic. So I'll go out and water the garden and have a little potter around, sort of get rid of some dead leaves and see what's springing up. And if there's something there for me to eat, I'll pick it and bring it in and eat it, cook it and eat it. Either eat it raw or cook it and eat it. And it's just...
But also, for me, the magical thing about what you're doing is that, you know, you are actually getting your neighbors who you'd never normally speak to, like neighbors, to actually collaborate. So,
well, I wouldn't go that far, babe.
No, but didn't you say your neighbors helping you now?
Well, one of the young kiddies are. Who was the other? Yeah, the other guy kind of had a day where he wanted to help, and I've not seen him since.
It must have been a good day.
Must have been a really good day, right? So I obviously need to run some more energy on that. I find that people are really just materially based. They're based on the material, which is that density. They think that Sainsbury's is going to be there forever, or Waitrose or Morrison's or wherever they're shopping. They think it's going to be there forever. And it's funny, Emma, right? So when I'm out watering the garden, whether it's nighttime or evening, it makes me great. I'm really grateful to be able to have the space to do that, right? Firstly, I usually go down, like pot down in my flip-flops, so I've got my feet on earth, which is a really, really great feeling.
Nice.
Right? Get some mud between my toes where the water kind of makes a little muddy patch, which is a nice feeling, right? But it makes me think that, you know, it's really the simple things, and I visualize when people actually get to grips with what is actually going on at the back here in their garden, in their space, that they're choosing to fling rubbish around, and they're choosing to allow their kids to kind of leave all their toys and all their broken bikes are by the side of the building. And it's just like, God, do these people not think of how to live with other people? Right? There's that, because I have to walk past their mess first before I get to my pleasure. Every morning or every evening, right? That's what I have to do. And I think, wow, look at what we could have if everyone done their little bit. Because there's going to be something that I'm really good at growing. There's going to be something that you're really good at growing. There's just going to be that one plant that you just sort of resonate with, and you grow it to the best of its ability, and it just gives you an abundance of food. And that's the space that we will get to. If we're lucky, there'll be more than one plant that we'll be able to tune into and grow and sort of resonate with that plant's frequency, you know, which is a real powerful thing. It really is. And it's really quite a beautiful thing, because also having your energy and your time going into that. I mean, there was a couple of times where I just threw the towel in and I thought, I can't be bothered. I can't look at that mess anymore. If I just don't go around there, I don't have to see it, right? But then I was like, no, it's the work that I've been called to do, right? So I sort of dusted myself off and went back round, started again. And the fruits that I'm getting, the rewards that I'm getting, I mean, it's only been a few meals that I've had from the garden, right? But I'm just like, wow, it's just buzzing.
Look at your
face. Really is. It's
so excited about it.
Yeah, no, really, really, really. I wish you had up the road, because I'd invite you around for some lunch, man. Like, wow, Debs, what is in these courgettes, man? Seriously, it's just high vibrational food. And at that moment, it's like, okay, so this is the space you wanted me to get to continue. And it's that's allowing me to keep on moving. Yeah. I'm not on burnout. At the beginning, when I was doing it, I was kind of burning myself out. And I think that the universe just wanted me to pull back, because that's not the right frequency or energy either. It's that ticking the boxes, having plans, getting things done, got to be done by this time. No. Flowing in, ebbing and flowing. Some days I'm tired because the frequencies are rising. Today, I felt like I was hit by a 10-foot wave when I woke up, right? I actually felt really stoned when I woke up. Really, like I'd been on a bonging session for the last 2 days. It was really mad.
Wow.
But
maybe it was the courgette.
Courgette, come down, love. That's what it was. Who knew? Anyway.
Such high vibration. It's like, whoa. No, but let me say something before I forget.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you were saying that, like, you have to kind of move out of the house and then go to the garden, and you're passing by all the bicycles and the plastic and the kind of density and the, you know, that is it's just an example of of the differences between each dimension right now, and how we have to navigate through them, you know, and how our energy changes, and we feel the density as we pass by these plastic bicycles made of China, and everything's disorganized, and there's no thankfulness, there's no grateful, there's no love to things, you know. Everything is just materialistic, just take, you know.
Yeah.
And then you kind of
take break, buy again, take break, buy again, just dump it there, just buy another one. It's really crap.
And then you're kind of trying to move into your beautiful garden, and then you're in the garden, and then you know, you can breathe again, and it's like your happy place, you know. And that's the example. This is what we're going through. This is what this is about, the dimension, the shift in dimension, right? This is it, you know. And you know, going back to how do you know that you're shifting dimension, there's another thing as well. Like if you don't resonate with your partner, for example, a lot of partners are not resonating anymore. They're not getting along anymore because they have different perceptions, and there's so many differences globally, politically, etc., that there's a massive division between the conversations that they're talking about, you know. Couples, families, you know, when you know that, if you sense that you're no longer getting along with your partner, it's because perhaps your partner is still stuck in that density, and you're seeing a little bit further away from that. So, you know, I think what is important to clarify here is that the time that we're going through now is not about, I hang out with those people because those people play pool. And I hang out with those people because they're super fun when we go out raving. Or, you know, I hang out with them people because they're super good DJs and they play fucking good music. It's not about that anymore.
No.
I think it's more about the density. So it's the frequency that we are vibrating at now. So we are finding, you know, finding the people that we can resonate with now more than, okay, what do you do, or what? Because I sometimes get along with people that are on my wavelength, and they're awake, and they're, you know, they know about so much information. And, you know, when they know about Q, or they know about, you know, when you find somebody that knows about it, it's like, oh, it's like you've known them forever, right?
Yeah.
It just feels like you're comfortable with them. And the same will be when someone's in the density. Someone who gets along, someone will probably have something to chat about with somebody who you see them chatting away about, you know, the COVID and all of this stuff, and they're happy to speak to each other. But then when they try and speak to someone who's on my wavelength, we don't, it's difficult. It's difficult to have that conversation. And that is where, you know, the division is very clear now. I just wanted to point that out before I forget.
No, I mean, I get it. I totally get it. I guess we're feeling like how angels feel, right?
Maybe.
That's kind of, it come into my mind's eye a few days ago, actually, that it's possibly how angels feel when we call upon them, and they, you know, they come and visit our dimension to assist and help us. I'm not quite sure how that's done, but I'm aware that angels shift between dimensions in order to do their work. So it could be we're starting to feel a little bit of what work they do and how that feels, because like I haven't had a conversation with anyone about the mounting of bikes that I have to walk past in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Because I just feel like I don't want to get into a discussion with someone that's just not on my wavelength, because I don't want to put myself in a vibration or frequency where I do lose my shit. You know?
Well, maybe, yeah. This is a practice, I do believe, as well, for those who are in 5D. Once we have our shit together, if you will, once we have our shit together and we're able to create that pillar of light and whatever. Yeah, it's learning how to navigate through that density. I think that's something that it's just something that we need to face sometimes, you know, and have compassion. You need to have compassion and try and
I'm sorry, I can't.
No,
okay, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an
sister,
example.
listen,
Right.
but maybe like enlighten them, but it's hard, I know.
Enlighten them. Yeah. But
angels would never give up on any of us.
No,
ascended masters never
they wouldn't.
Give up on
however, no, they wouldn't. That's true.
But they wouldn't reach you if you're so low in density.
But let me share. Say again.
They don't normally reach you if you're so low down in density.
They're like, yeah, whatever. Catch up, love. You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. Right, I had it was one of my exes. Was having a conversation about Archangel Michael, and I shared that my Archangel Michael was my guide on my right side, yeah. And I don't know whether she took offense to it or maybe thought that I was in an ego space or was offended, but I don't know what was going on. But she tried to belittle it and put it down. And I didn't react at all. I didn't react. We was having coffee. And so when we left the coffee bar, you know, the shutters that shops put down?
Yeah.
Well, the shutter was down and she went, bosh, into the shutter, right?
Wow.
So, yeah, no, and that's happened. That's just one example that I can remember. There's been a few things that have happened like that when I've spoke about the angelic realm and people have belittled it or put it down. Bosh, because you know, if you look at nature, there is such a thing as thunder and lightning and gale force winds and tornadoes and whatever. I'm not talking about those that have been controlled by HARP, right? I'm talking about the natural phenomenons.
Yeah.
Right, where Mother Earth is just taking her reign and thinking, right, you lot are taking the piss. Here's a 10-foot wave for your village, right? So, yeah, I could be coming in the form of a tsunami soon if they don't clear that shit up, is what I'm saying. Because I just think it's unnecessary to live like that, personally. But then that makes me feel that it's the way I am to consider another person. Like, it's just the way I think. And there's not a lot of people that think like that. I think there's a lot of very selfish beings on the planet that are really just tuned in to the material goods. And they miss so much. They really do miss so much.
Yeah. It's difficult when you're surrounded by that, or when you're even living in a family that's very 3D, you know. Blanky wants to be like the cat and climb on the roof, but she can't. She knows she can't. But it is difficult when you're near that 3D density, when you're near this, when you have to live through it. You really have to create that bubble of light to protect your
damn right
vibration.
Yeah.
Or you need to be playing some freaking like good dub tunes pretty much all day.
Yeah, you know, I've been looking at purchasing a speaker.
What, for the garden?
Yeah, babes. Of course. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you should really.
Because I need some dub around there, man.
Yeah, I've got a little speaker. I take it everywhere with me, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, wherever I am. The speaker's with me.
I'm talking about quite a big speaker.
Oh God.
Yeah. That's one way of putting it, I guess. Rather than maybe that could be like the gentle tsunami.
You're gonna sound them off.
Yeah, well, hopefully the lyrics and the frequency of what they're actually saying in the dub tunes that I play, it will resonate somewhere, some shape, some form.
I do believe that when you play frequencies, Actually, today I didn't have time, but I was thinking it would be good for this episode to vocalize on some frequency sound, because
Yeah.
that also shifts you into other dimensions. If anybody wants to feel with sound how it is to be in the heart, because when you're in a higher dimension, it just means that you're purely in your heart, really, doesn't it, Debs?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So if you want to feel in your heart and you're not too sure how, just listening to frequencies is super, super powerful. So yeah, that helps as well to kind of sense what it's like to be in another dimension, you know.
Yeah.
But I do feel that also shifting into a higher dimension, it also takes work and dedication and being conscious, but it should be enjoyable and you should want to do it. You should have that calling to want to move forward and to be a better person, and to be in your heart and to do the things that are right for you, and understand that that is your God-given right.
Yeah.
It's your God-given right to be good with yourself and not give everything away to everybody else. It's because the system that we lived in has never taught us that this is okay to do. And that's why we are in that density, because we think that that's the only way. And we think that that's, you know, we're told to do something, and that's what we do because we're good-hearted people. Deep down, we're good-hearted people, you know, but actually it's about connecting to your power, to your personal power. Yeah. And realizing that actually, no, I don't want that. And I'm going to say something about that. And step by step by step, every step that you take, you'll be coming out of one dimension and then moving into the next dimension. And then there you'll have more work to do. Yeah. Maybe the fourth lower dimension, where you'll be kind of, you know, having the struggles and still having a bit of ego, but kind of letting go of that. And then moving into fourth upper dimension, which is where you're already practicing your meditation. You're already, you know that you need to do the work and you're doing the work. And the fifth dimension is when you're kind of already have done the work and you're already mastering everything that comes to your life, and you're learning that everything that comes to your life there's a lesson. So it just gets easier to navigate in life. And every experience that comes to you is so much easier to take in. It's like right now, I'm just, also mastering everything that comes to me. And it's like, okay, why did I not receive that? Why did my car break down? My car broke down 2 weeks ago, but it was just because, and I also teared my ligament or something dancing or something. But basically it was,
something.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I was dancing. And it was because I had to stop. And so I sat down and I did a workshop for 2 days, and I put my leg up, and I knew that I needed to manifest abundance in my life, and I needed to find some work. But I sat back and I just manifested that, and then and also I did some work. I did a few things, put some stuff out, and then boom, it just came. And everything is just easier when you're in 5D, or at least attempting to navigate within the 5D dimension or frequency, if you will, and when you're in that 5D frequency, you also decide who you want to see and who you don't want to see. You decide what you want to do and what you don't want to do. You decide what work you want to do and what you don't want to do, because you understand that abundance is a frequency, and you understand that if you're happy, then that frequency, that abundance will come to you. But this is all just stuff that we're learning, we learn and we learn, and every phase and every moment of your life is precious, and even if you're trapped in something and you're not coming out of it, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow will be another day. You can't be hard on yourself and regret and look back and oh my God, that's the density. That is the density. The suitcase, that's the density. And that's what we need to let go of to be able to start shifting.
Fear space, definitely. Because what I'm finding is by clearing a space, whether it be clearing friends or clearing a job that I don't want to do, or clearing the house or whatever, I find that you need to clear the space, and you need to kind of sit with that empty space for a little bit, or a long bit. Consider it, you know, and sort of take into consideration where your own frequency is at. But just clear the space of whatever it is that you'll know that no longer suits you, and just be prepared to sit with it and allow. What do you want to allow your thoughts and your feelings? What do you? Okay, you may start with what you don't want to fill the space with, and get all that out of the way.
Yeah.
Right, like sort of, you know, sort of writing a draft, if you like, writing a draft for the book, all the stuff that you don't want to talk about. Okay, I don't want to talk about it. Got it off, out my chest, it's off my head. Now, what do I want to fill this space with? What's going to make me smile? What's going to make me float a little lighter today? What's going to make me radiate loads of light today? You know, what's going to make me just sit peacefully and calmly and have a life without drama? Some people wouldn't even know what a life without drama is. Do you know, like some people just attract drama and just fill their lives with drama, and it's they have no space to think or feel clearly.
Yeah. No, because they identify to the drama.
Yeah, totally. They're attached to it. Yeah.
They're attached to it because that's what makes them want to live. Or, you know, in some sense, it's like there's a void. There's a void because they're not looking at their own shadows. So they cling on to everyone else's dramas or their own drama. And that's why they like the drama, because it keeps them busy.
Yeah.
It keeps them busy in the density. So that's why they never shift into.
It gives them a full sense of purpose, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But that's why it's just because there's a void. It's because they feel empty, you know, really, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, but it's about knowing that, you know, there's so much more, isn't there? It's so unlimited. But yeah, it's about creating spaces so that whatever it is you want comes in. Because as well, it's like, you know, when you're in a relationship and it's just like, well, I haven't done that in a long time, but I do remember that my last relationship, you know, I knew that it was time to end it because I wasn't happy anymore. And I knew that once I ended it and I had space for me and I was with me and I was feeling powerful enough, I would then call in the right thing for me. But I knew that I needed to be on my own and I needed to build up my vibration. I needed to build up my frequency. I needed to learn how to nurture myself and how to love myself. And that takes a long time because we have not been taught that. And then when I was ready and loving myself, called in somebody into my life.
So so you can match to that vibration. You need to raise your own vibration in order to match it. Otherwise, you're just going to attract. If you're feeling crap, you're going to attract crap.
Exactly.
You don't know how to love yourself. Don't expect someone else to come along and know how to love you. Like that's not how it works.
Yeah, it's like I haven't been with anyone for 5 years, and I met this young boy, as you know, and like, you know, he's much younger than I am. He's like 15 years younger than I am. But he's lovely and he loves music. Like, and for me, it's just like, okay, the universe has brought me this individual, and this is the way I think now. I'm not trying to change him to the man that I want him to be. I'm not doing that. I'm just basically taking in whatever he's providing me. Yeah. So the universe, whatever he's providing me. So he's giving me music, which is amazing. So I'm learning to, you know, activate my inner child again and listen to music more. And he's bringing me all these amazing pieces of music. And I want this and I want that, you know. And also another lesson that I've learned with him is to not have expectation.
Big one.
So, you know,
the relationship is a big one.
29-year-old is like, yo, you're coming over. Oh, sorry, babes, I just got to do something else. And it's like, okay, normally I'd be like, he organized to meet me. How rude, you know, like, but we're not in a relationship.
The negative feminine energy.
Yeah, but we're not in a relationship. The control. No, it's the control, because when you expect, you're giving your power away.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, when you expect something from someone else, you're giving your power away, and therefore then you're not within yourself. You're not in your pillar of light. You're not in your power.
Yeah.
So what I do now is that, okay, if he doesn't call me, it's fine. I've got another plan. I've got shit to do. I've always got stuff to do.
I'm
in my own, this is my voyage. I'm in my journey, and nobody's taking me out of my journey. Okay.
Yes.
So if he is here, he's providing me. If he doesn't provide me today, he'll provide me tomorrow. It's fine. As long as I'm receiving, you know, and he's receiving and I'm giving to him, it's fine. If there's an exchange of energy and it's been understood and it's been clarified what it is, that's fine. No one's to say what it's meant to be, or if it's meant to be a relationship, or and I think that's the new way of understanding.
Totally get that.
When something comes to you, don't think, oh, you know, is this the one? Is this the man? Is this the woman? Is she gonna save my day? Is like, you know, listen, life is not like that, and you're just gonna fall into the same trap. Seriously. It's about
expectations. When you have expectations, prepare to be disappointed.
Don't have expectations. Just be in your power always, and just go with the flow. That's my agreement with this boy. He's just like, oh, I don't know. I was like, okay, that's because sometimes I catch myself saying, oh, okay, we'll meet on Sunday. What do you want to do? Do you want to go to the beach, or do you want to? And it's like, oh, I don't know. I was like, okay, let's go with the flow. You're right, babe. Let's go with the flow. You know. I like that because he reminds me to just go with the flow. And I like that, and that's the teaching. Those are the lessons that he's providing me right now. So I'm thankful to the universe. And I'm thankful for my dog, because she always like she's licking the hell out of me because she loves me lots. But Debs, all good. Shifting dimensions. It's interesting, isn't it? But this is the talk. This is the TED talk. This is the talk. Join us on
the talk. Is this the talk, babes?
This is the talk, baby. Yeah, but we're all going to have to go through these dimensions and, you know, come out of the density, because if we don't come out of the density, the light is so strong right now on the planet, and it's just going to get more and more intense. Yeah. And therefore, those who do not come out of the density will not be able to survive. I don't think it will be very difficult for them, for their bodies to.
I think some people are popping off for that reason as well.
People are leaving this reality.
They haven't got the energy to raise the vibration.
No,
okay, they're just going to go back home.
They'll just come back in a different lifetime, and they'll have another opportunity. You know, it's fine. But this is the reality, and those who want to stay on this beautiful planet, then that's the work that we need to be doing, and that's why we're doing these conversations. This is why we're talking to each other about this. Beano, come here, say hello. This is Beano.
Hey, Beano.
I wanted to call him Temple, you know, hence the triangle. But my daughter said, "Oh, Mum, that's too deep." I was like, "Okay," and then we called it. And then we called him Yin Yang, so we've compromised, and he's called Beano Yin Yang.
Okay.
But in my mind, he's my temple, you know. And Blanca's my angel. Blanca's my angel. So I have my angel and my temple, and this is what you do in 5D. Yeah. You create your reality. It's just like, I have my temple, I have my angel. I mean, what else do I need?
What else do you need, babe?
Okay, so guys, join us on Bella Emotions on Telegram. You'll find us there. I'm also, if you want to do some online dance. Oh yeah, I was going to say also, I'll be talking about shifting dimensions in my next online dance event, which is my first one on Zoom. So if you want to find out about that, do join me in Amazie_music on Telegram. But if not, I'll leave the links below. So it's happening on the 14th, Sunday, 14th of August, 7 in the evening to like 10. It's about 2 or 3 hours, something like that. But we're going to be dancing. We're going to be talking about 3D to 5D Earth Ascension. And we're going to be dancing it and feeling it as well. So I'll be guiding you. It's going to be super cool. We're going to be playing some good beats. I hope to see you all there, and do join our Better Emotion Telegram. And Debs, over to you.
Yeah, guys, so thanks for watching, and if you haven't liked, shared, subscribed, please do so. We would be grateful for it. And also leave your comments. What are your views? Are you experiencing any ascension shifts or any dimension shifts that you can't, or some sort of shift that you can't really explain or put into words, which could also be a common thing. You know, reach out, let us know what's going on.
Yeah, I just want to say lastly, Debs, very quickly, that we are noticing the shift much more now because of the light that's coming in. I repeat, that we need
human
to
resonance.
We need to remind people that the galactic central sun is very intense, and it's just showering down
solar flares,
activation codes through the sun, and there's going to be a massive solar flare. We don't know when it's going to be, but it's going to be like a rainbow light, and it's literally going to, like, in some way reprogram us for the best, you know. So whatever intention we put out there, it's going to actually manifest. So this is why we need to be ready for this. And we need to work on clearing all the stuff that we don't want in our lives and come to our hearts and just be happy.
Be, baby, because 5D is where we wanna be.
5D is where I wanna be, baby.
Babe, we catch up soon.
Yeah, we'll see you on the 14th, babe. You're gonna be dancing with me, aren't you?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Oh, hey, my birthday's Monday coming, so yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's on Monday, the 8th, the Lionsgate, sweet.
Oh my God, yeah. By the way, it's the Lionsgate, guys. So if you don't know about that, go online and find some meditation or something to do, because it's going to be super powerful, isn't it, Debs?
Yes, indeed. I might actually do a meditation for it, but as it's my birthday, I tend not to do anything like that on my birthday.
No, don't start promising things. No, don't do the list.
Right, I won't.
Flow, go with the flow, baby. It's all about 5D.
Take care, babes.
Bye, darling.